Years ago, I read a description on the back of a packet of mixed Coleus seeds that claimed they would produce an infinite variety of leaf colors and patterns. I wasn't really interested in Coleus at the time, so I passed on the seeds, but I always wondered how many different colors and patterns Coleus mixtures really would produce. I finally decided to find out, so I purchased a packet of Wizard Mixed, a dwarf variety, and Rainbow Mixed, a medium-sized variety. These are the most two commonly available mixes. They were planted in peat pellets by dropping them on the top of the wetted pellets and lightly pressing them in. The flat was covered and placed in a room where the temperature is a constant 73 degrees, perfect for Coleus germination. 48 pellets of each variety were planted, which should be enough to give us an idea of just how varied the offspring from each packet are. Only 4 days have passed, and the seed tray is already filled with sprouts. The Wizard appears to be at about 70% germination, the Rainbow more like about 90%. Here's a close-up showing just how much they are at this stage. This is a pencil. What I'll do now is put them in light shade outside and keep them sprayed so they don't dry out and see how quickly they grow. The most interesting thing I'm looking for is how soon after they sprout do they start showing their colors. It's been 17 days since we planted the seeds and 13 since the first plants germinated. And as you can see, we're well into our first set of real leaves. I thinned the plants out to 1 per peat pellet about a week ago, and since then we've lost 1 of the Wizard and 2 aren't doing too well, and also 2 of the Rainbow Mix aren't doing very well, but the rest seem to be prospering fairly well. I've already learned a couple of things about Coleus. First is that they all start off with green leaves and don't start showing any color until they get their first set of true leaves. Here's a close-up of one of the Wizards, and it's looking pretty good. As you can see though, it's still barely ½ an inch across. This one shows a brighter green, but not quite as much red. This Wizard is interesting because instead of the usual pairs of leaves, it grows in sets of 3. Of the hundreds of Coleus seeds that germinated, this is the only one that shows this characteristic. About a quarter of all the Wizards so far at this stage are only showing a bright green. Another quarter are a darker green. Only a few are showing a medium green with light green or maybe even yellow details in the center. This is what most of the plants look like over on the Wizard side, although there are quite a few plain green ones. This is the most interesting one, with very sharply defined red zones in the middle of the leaves. And that's how things are standing at the end of 2.5 weeks. Already you can see that the Rainbow variety are growing larger than the more dwarf Wizard variety. Let's jump forward 2 weeks and see how they look. The Rainbow Mix gave 5 basic types, with the most common being this middle green with pale red markings. What was surprising was the large number of plain green plants. Now, it's entirely likely these may develop other colors as they mature and depending on the amount of light and soil type they're given. Wizard produced 9 distinctly different color patterns, everything from this light green and yellow to these rather muddy looking darker types, which also happen to be the most common. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there were more color patterns, but this at least gives an idea of what to expect from either Wizard or Rainbow Coleus mixtures. For more articles covering everything from Jelly Belly jelly beans to the strange world of lucid dreaming, please visit my main website at waynesthisthandthat.com. And as always, thanks for watching.